What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Yarrell. Welcome to Spilling All the Tea. This segment right here is TeaV Smoothie. Going to pretty much be talking about Gotham, Season 1, Episode 17, Arrow, Season 3, Episode 14, and Empire, Season 1, Episode 8. Before I get into it, even though this is called TeaV Smoothie, it's just a segment. But since this is Spilling All the Tea, gotta have some tea with me on deck. So go ahead and hit this before we start. Hit this. Drink this. Hit this. See? I'm already there. Alright, so we're going to start off with Gotham. So we have Penguin and Butch. So start off with talking about these two first. So Penguin has talent, not really cutting it, and he's asking the bartender for drinks, and he's like, well, what you see is just a display. We never have the drinks just sitting out, but we don't have any drinks. And Butch pretty much telling him, well, your supplier is Maroney. And yeah, pretty much, that's what it is. And he's like, well, he didn't like fish. He was like, business is business, but he can't stand you. He hates you, so there's no way in the hell you're going to get any alcohol, especially because where they're at, like that sector, Maroney, pretty much supplies the alcohol. So, he SOL. He just out of luck. But what happens is Penguin wants to like raid one of his facilities, go up in that chitty chitty bang bang. They see the the whoop whoop. For y'all don't know what whoop whoop is, police cars. And Penguin gets nervous, and all of a sudden he sees Butch just pop up, and he's just like, yeah, these guys with me, this is probably a hell of a lot better than you try to come in here, with some guns and probably, die in the process. And even though, and Penguin doesn't know how to take this, they go back, they have drinks. And Penguin initially thinks that Butch is trying to kill him. He's like, look, bro, I ain't about that life, and if this shit don't pop off, we're both done. I put my blood, my sweat, and my tears into this building. It's going to, it's going to pop off. And, Penguin kind of has a revelation, pretty much. Now I got to grab my notes, because I want to try to make sure I quote him correctly. Yeah, he feels, okay, so Penguin, he misses fish. He does. He misses fish. And he says that I feel it's your enemies, that kind of define who you are. And Butch just like, she got what she deserved. And I was like, damn. Victor must have done a real good job on him, because it seemed like his ass is smooth turned on him, but hey, it is what it is. So speaking of fish, we get to her. She's pretty much at this facility, crazy looking facility, going to meet the boss, but she actually meets not necessarily the director, but almost the facility manager. And she pretty much tells him, look, bro, I'm not talking to you, but tell, the scientist when he gets in, then he can come get me. And the doctor pretty much reasons with her, why don't, we allow you to get cleaned up? And then you come back, and then we'll discuss everything when you come back. So she comes back, and he pretty much tells her, and I think and this is me talking, so coming off the recap or me talking about it, I think just by watching it was just like, okay, let's get her cleaned up. And he began to size her up, because he pretty much told her, we're going to harvest your eyes. There's something about it. And it's partially her eyes, but it's her personality, but it's that fire behind it. And he's pretty much telling her, look, you can either not surrender and we kill you and everybody downstairs, or you surrender and go back downstairs, and then let's see how it is for you to, survive without eyes, or to lead without eyes. So he's being just a straight up dick. So it's one of those where it's just like, either we kill all y'all, or I'm going to take your eyes, but we're going to see what you are without them. And, so those are her two options. She was like, I'm choosing option 3. So, she pretty much, and I don't know if she was handcuffed or not, but she elbows one guy, sees a spoon. Now, I did not see this coming. I was sitting here thinking, like, are you finna jab somebody with a spoon? No, she takes the spoon, pops out her fucking eye. And it did not end there. She squashed that shit. Stumped on her own fucking eye. And as she's fainting, staring, her left one staring at him with the right one, pretty much giving him a, now what? I was just like, damn. But you know what? And you gonna hear me say this again when I get to Empire. But in this particular series, Gotham, fish that bitch. And I do not mean that in a disrespectful manner. You go to one of my other videos, maybe. But she that one. She is that one. Like I said, I'm hoping she'll stay around a little bit longer. But, you know, hey, if not, she's giving us enough. So now we get to Mr. Payne, Alfred, and Bruce. So Mr. Payne is a friend of Alfred. They used to serve in a military, almost like a Secret Service type thing. But Bruce knows nothing of this. One day, and he pretty much shows up. And, you know, he comes in. They talk about old times. Bruce encourages him to stay. He stays, and Mr. Payne sees Bruce going for his boxing gloves. And he's like, all right, well, let me help you. So they begin to spar. And he's literally like, punch me. You know, dodging, deflecting the whole nine, literally building up this anger. And Alfred stops it because it's going too far. And he's like, look, I don't need for him to know my past. My past and our past need to stay exactly where it's at, in the past. Not that guy anymore. He's that guy when he needs to be, but he's not that guy anymore. And I can totally understand that. So we fast forward all the way to the end. And pretty much what happens is Alfred wakes up to see Mr. Payne stealing. And he asks him, and he's like, I'm sorry. Alfred's like, you don't have to do this. And Payne is like, yeah, I kind of do. You don't know how it is doing what I do. And asks him, did you bring a gun with you? And Alfred's like, no. And pretty much, you know, Mr. Payne's like, I'm sorry. Then he stabs him, shanks the shit out of him, and pretty much leaves him for dead. And Bruce calls 911, gets Alfred to a hospital. They pretty much have him on oxygen. I would assume probably on life support. We don't know what his status is. Probably we'll find this out in the next episode. But we find at the very end of the episode that, excuse me, we found at the very end of the episode, or that part of the episode, more or less, because it's two endings, and I'll get to the other part in a second, that Mr. Payne was a for hire. And pretty much all that he stole was, I don't know if he physically stole it, but he pretty much had the wall. If you think about the wall that Bruce had, that had all the different pictures, the lines, the links and everything, pretty much showed people at Bruce Enterprises that, to let them know all he has is suspicions, but he has nothing concrete. They pay him off, and he even says, leave the boy alone. And they pretty much, the black female, I forget what her name is, but she kind of gives him that whole, whatever, but thank you for your service, see your ass out the door. And you can tell that there's a bit of remorse there. There's a bit of remorse. So, like I said, he was a for-hire guy. And to make mention of this and to go through it as quickly as I can, the episode was mostly tied around the Red Hood. And I'll be completely honest, I don't know the official backstory of the Red Hood. So I really cannot give you much background on that. So I do apologize. Like I said, I'm not well versed in DC. So, I mean, again, sorry. But what we see is, you know, there's a week prior, there was a guy who was pretty much casing the place. He lit a flare to judge the reaction time of the police. So when the crew came in, you know, they knew how much time they had from when they first walked in to how long it was going to take the police to get there. One of the guys donned a red hood. He became very charismatic, you know, almost entertaining everyone that's there. So it was one of those where don't do nothing stupid, but, you know, trying to keep everybody calm. They escape. The po-pos come, and the guy in the red hood throws money, you know, and nice to y'all. And for those of y'all who watch my channel, y'all know I like to do music. Reminded me of that Lil Wayne and T-Pain. You know, if you got money and you know it, take it out your pocket, then show it and throw it like he threw it. And he was smart about it. People started running in front of the cop cars, caused a diversion, they got away. Well, the theme tended to be, because he said whoever has the hood has the power. One guy kills him. And, pretty much now he's Red Hood. Another guy kills him. He becomes Red Hood. But when the second guy who became Red Hood what happened is he came in, was in the lineup. He was identified. They tagged him. He went back to his apartment. That's when the other guy shot him for the hood. They go in. They see a stack of loan applications, or I guess answers to it, letters from the bank, pretty much stating all of those loans that he had asked for had been denied. And we find out that he's a baker just trying to keep his business going. And then they finally figure out, well, the two banks that have already been hit up were two places that he would apply for a loan. There's a third one. That ends up being the next target. So, Jim and, his buddy, they go to that bank, pretty much catch them, pop, line up the last three. And the way the episode pretty much ends is, the hood, the man, whatever you want to call it, was taking off that one guy, but they left it sitting on the sidewalk, and a random team comes, picks it up, puts it on, and we would assume he's now the next Red Hood. So pretty much, and one thing that I will say, I'm not going to go into deep detail, but I mean, it's almost like with this, this show, or just the Red Hood, was like a personification of the injustice that's going on in Gotham, and pretty much just how the Red Hood is coming in to, I guess, rectify it. Maybe, just maybe, but just a thought. So enough of that, but that right there was pretty much Gotham. Now we're moving to Arrow, which I have been waiting for this for one reason, and mostly for one reason. There's a couple different things I was waiting for, but we'll start with Felicity and Ray Palmer. Pretty much, Ray has been working on this Atom suit. This is what I've been waiting for, because I'm getting fucking tired of him building this damn suit. We ain't seen this damn suit. When the fuck we gonna see this suit? Okay. Well, she comes, she comes to see him. He's tired, ain't showering, none of that. So she pretty much just he sees that she has put up a firewall or whatever. She pretty much says, look, it's going to take you about a good 6-7 hours to decrypt it. So you can either sit here for that time, or you can eat some dinner, take a shower, take a nap, come back, and try it again. By then, I will just give you the password to it. He does it. He comes back. He comes back after the shower. And, she goes in for the kiss. And you know what? Hey, it's about time that, Felicity get us some. Because, hey, it don't seem like her and Oliver going to get it. Now, granted, for those of y'all who follow the story of Arrow, we all know how it's going in. It's just like watching any Superman or Smallville. No matter what you see, you know what the end result going to be. You know who he's going to get with. But you're still just watching for, the entertainment. All right. And, they do what it do. They had sex. It is what it is. He wakes up. I would assume he had like an epiphany or something. Goes in, finishes the suit. He gets in the suit, and he flies off. So we finally get the suit. Now, when is he actually going to, come into action? We get to see it. Don't know. Might be the next episode. Might be a couple down. But, again, who knows? Now we get to Laurel and Malcolm. Well, just to give you guys the back, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll tell you. For those who've seen it, we already know. But Thea is she's just beat up about knowing that she killed Sarah, so she feels she needs to just come clean, because she already has the guilt, but it's just so much, and it's hard to see Laurel and her father, and knowing that she did in fact kill Sarah. So she tells Laurel's just like, it's not your fault. And, Laurel goes and tries to attack Malcolm. And Malcolm is pretty much snatched up by the League of Assassins. Pause there. We move on to Ra's al Ghul and Nyssa, his daughter. And, she pretty much tells him, hey, Oliver still lives. And he's like, I know. And she's a little bit upset because, okay, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, he didn't kill Sarah. He didn't kill Sarah. And she's like, whether or not he did or he didn't, he challenged you. He deserves to die. So he beat death, but he challenged you, so he deserves to die. Something to keep in mind. All right. Now we go to Nyssa, Thea, and Laurel. So Thea contacts the League of Assassins and pretty much rats out her father. So after the fight during the fight that Laurel had with Malcolm, she pulled out a gun after she really couldn't fight him, but the League of Assassins came in, took him away. Oliver tried to stop Nyssa, but he was able to apprehend her, but they took Malcolm away. He locks her up, and then he departs, and I'll get to his part next. So Laurel sits there with Nyssa, and she's like, okay, you're sad. And she's like, because she thought that the revenge was going to help her. But in fact, what it did is, hating Malcolm and, looking at him, keeping him alive, keeps alive another part of Sarah that she has. But once he dies, that just leaves another void, another hole, So pretty much any attachments. Because at this point, she only has two other people that know Sarah. And that's going to be Nyssa and Oliver. So Laura goes away, Thea comes in, and she pretty much had to come clean finally and say, look, I told you would get your revenge, but I lied to you. It wasn't my father that necessarily killed Sarah. I killed her. But I promise you that you would get your revenge. She pops open the cage, hands her a blade, and pretty much tells her to do what she has to do. And it stops there. We won't know what happens to Thea until the next episode. Now, getting to the big stuff, we have Diggs, Malcolm, Oliver, and Rawls. So Malcolm is with Rawls al Ghul, and pretty much this boy is begging for his life. And Rawls pretty much telling him, have dignity, accept your fate. You're going to die, but I'm going to torture you first, then kill you. Theory behind that is I'm going to torture you so bad, because he fears death now, but I'm going to torture you so bad you're going to be wishing to be dead. That's some powerful ass shit right there, y'all. So he's gone. Oliver is dead set on rescuing Malcolm, and he tells Thea and everybody else it's mostly because Thea has never truly killed someone on her own free will. And he's pretty much told her before he left that, look, it's because of me that our parents are dead. I have to live with that guilt every day. I don't want you to live with the guilt of knowing that it was you that killed your father. I don't want you to live with that guilt. So he goes, Diggs' baby mama, aka fiance, tells him, hey, you used to be a soldier. You can't let your battle buddy go in by himself. Go. Just come back. So they go in, they take out all the people on the way. They get to Malcolm. Rawls al Ghul see him. Next thing we know, it's a brand new scene. Both of them are caged up. Apparently they did knock Oliver ass out. Oliver gets summoned to see Rawls. And Rawls pretty much pulls out his blade. And I was just like, look, man, kill me. Do not kill Diggs, because he ain't had nothing to do with this. And I need to replace this battery. This thing is not giving me nothing right now. Like I know I'm a little bit off topic, but I need to replace this battery. Yep, battery's dead. No more vape, you guys. Sorry. So pretty much Rawls pretty much tells it, because it's one where he's fascinated with him, just like, you experienced death. In essence, you cheated death. But now you're back, and it's almost like you're craving to die again. And he pretty much tells him, I want you to replace me. And that's pretty much all that we get. Now, normally, you guys, I do not do the whole pause and come back. But I'm going to pause. I'm going to change this damn battery. And then I'm going to come back, and then I'll pick up with Empire, you guys. There we go. Now, now I can go ahead and get into Empire, you guys. So before I start going through the characters, the characters, I want to start off with a broad topic and work my way down, so it's a little bit easier, even though I'm going to have to jump between people. But for the sake of this episode, a legacy project. So pretty much a video of Lucius' legacy and a song that he once recorded is going to be remade by him and his family, minus Andre. That will come up in a second. And a guy named Ryan Morgan is going to be pretty much the creative director of this. And he plays a very important role in this. And he's going to be one of the last people that I talk about. So with the construction of the song, you have the song going on, and it's a beautiful moment because you pretty much see all of the lions in the studio singing and rapping, because Hakeem was the only one that was rapping. He, to my knowledge, he does not sing, but you have Andre off in the cut watching it, and he is so envious because that singing is not a talent that he has. So he's in his feelings about it. But it was such a beautiful moment just to see that. And hey, that's all I can say. It was beautiful. So now we get to Hakeem. So going back to the song, he was pretty much like, there's certain times in the song where your voice needs to fall below the music, pretty much be equal, with the music, blended. And then there's times where you need to be over it. He was over it, and pretty much because he was just like, no, you shouldn't be out doing the music. I guess she wanted him to kind of, pretty much harmonize with the beat. He get in his feelings, throw his dang on head, said, giving me L Dallas. He's actually giving me a little ass bitch is what the fuck he was giving me. And he's throwing a little temper tantrum and shit. I'm just like, when the fuck did you become 2 motherfucking years old, dude? What the fuck? And, his daddy pretty much decided he gonna be Dr. Phil, want to rectify the shit. And pretty much the main thing that he had to say was, one, he feels that Cookie loves Jamal more than him. And also, when she went off to jail, she forgot about him. So, of course, he has mommy issues. They seem to patch this up very, very quickly. Too quickly for my taste, because I'm just saying, if you have a mother, if there's parental issues that you have, it's not going to be resolved that damn quick. But hey, it is what it is. It's TV. They could have let that develop a little bit over the course of this episode. I digress. There is a scene, and actually it opens, if I'm not mistaken, the episode opens up with Jamal in a Catholic church. And Hakeem in a Catholic church praying. And Jamal walks in. And I have a quote that I wrote down. And, a conversation happened. And Jamal pretty much mentions that, even though their dad is sick, there's still issues between the two of them. And Hakeem says to him, you need to deal with this. Because, his issues with their father. Because he would hate to be 25 years old, be in therapy, wishing that he would have dealt with this situation. Which this is probably the second time he's probably had something fucking intelligent to say. I'm just saying, like, he ain't get, like, we on episode, 8, and he had 2 intelligent damn things to say. But what I find to be funny is, this is one of the moments where, motherfucker, you need to take a step back, think about what you said, record that shit, play it back so you can hear it, so you can take your own damn advice, because you need to do the same damn thing about your mother. Because it's obvious that you have mommy issues, which I'm going to talk about in a second, but it's obvious. It's very obvious, and the last thing you would want is to know that your mother has been trying to make this effort. You're shutting her down, and in 25 years, if she happens to pass by then, now you're in therapy because you didn't handle the situation. So he meets up with Camilla, and pretty much she gives him a white blazer because she wants him to grow the hell up for his image. And, for the white party. And, you know, he played her the song, and she's like, you need to be last because they saved the best for last. Putting the bug in his ear. And he pretty much said, I'm going to get you a white dress because you're going to accompany me. Now, he comes to the white party with her, and Cookie, on point. On point. I'm telling you, she don't miss a beat. I don't know which animal I want to give her. I don't know if she Mama Bear, if she is, you know, the goose. I don't know what it is, but she protects her young, even though he be acting the fuck up. She protects him, pretty much is saying, like, I know you have mother issues, but this ain't the way to go. You know, and then, you know, Camilla makes a comment about him being last on the record. And she like, oh, so you the reason. Okay. And of course they exchanged some words, and y'all just gonna have to watch it. But, you know, I liked how, you know, she stood her ground. But not Jamal Hakeem was just like, look, you need to let me handle this. And she pretty much sounded like, I'm gonna take a step back. But it was one of those where it was like, bitch, I got my eyes on you. All right now, Cookie, but this ain't your time. I'm just saying. So now you got Miss Boo Boo Kitty. She talks to Lucius about, you know, why do I have to find out that you put my dad in a bad predicament? If he goes down, I'm taking your ass down. He like, alright, and she like, is there anything else that you need to tell me? And he like, what? She was like, you know, the fact that, you know, you fucked Cookie last night. And child, when I said this dude had that dumb nigga, that nigga stance, and he had that, oh shit, what lie am I finna tell look on his face. He played that shit off too where I'm looking like, Terrence, is that the look you had on your face when you got that motherfucking lap dance from Beyonce at the BET Awards? Because, I mean, you was gay. Tangent, y'all. Gazing all up in her eyes. She grabbing on your tie. She sitting on your lap. She working on your... Yeah. I wonder, what did you say to your wife when you got home? So did you capture that moment in the scene? I don't know, y'all. I'm just speculating and shit. But he pretty much says that I love you. And I choose you. So she's like, prove it. Marry me tomorrow. He's like, we got some shit going on next week. She was like, okay, next week. But you're going to reveal it at the white party tomorrow. You're going to tell everybody that we're getting married next week. That we're getting married next week. And again, like I said, I'm bouncing. But she shows up to the white party and says, we have an announcement. Everybody needs to stick to the end. And as she's talking, she's looking right at you. Everybody needs to stick around to the end. And I was like, you doing too much. Because you making it obvious you own some shit. And Cookie just like, oh, got something for that ass bitch. So they talk. She like, congratulations. Woo, watch it. She's like, oh, and if you didn't know, just last night. Oh, yeah, we fucked. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure we fucked after he told you that, you know, he was done with me and that he was going to marry you. Gut punch that ass. That's exactly what... Here's the thing. Granted, it's a show, but it's just like, you can't do so much mess and think that it's not going to come back to you. Okay, granted, you know, do I want to see, you know, my people, and that's it, I'm just saying, I don't like to see my people fighting and, you know, all this division and everything, but at the same exact time, if we take the whole my people shit out of it, you know, again, you can't sit here and do all this wrong and don't expect it's going to come back to you. You can't sit here and be shading the motherfucker and think it's not going to come back to you. I'm just saying. So now we get to Andre with Vanilla Drop, because it's not all about him. So, we see Vanilla Drop walk her ass into the kitchen. And again, if I'm sober enough to remember to do this, y'all should see some pictures going on right here. This bitch walk out looking like the motherfucking witch of the motherfucking West. Granted, you know, it's scripted, you know, sitcom and shit. And she at home, but and she had, I would assume it was a chemical peel or some shit like that, but she straight walked in there looking like the motherfucking Wicked Witch. Wicked, baby. I was like, damn, they should have casted your ass playing motherfucking Once Upon a Time. Speaking of which, y'all, that's about to come out real soon, and I will add that to the TeaV Smoothie. Plugger. But Andre, you know, pretty much pimps her out so he can try to get some business shit going They go over to, you know, this dude's house because, you know, he was saying, old boy likes blondes. So I would assume his wife, fiance, whatever the fuck she was, because I really don't pay that much attention to Andre. I'm just saying, came out. She was looking kind of good, and I ain't gonna lie. So he's pretty much fucking with her. You know, Vanilla Drop walks in. Next thing you know, this motherfucker come in on the hover round. I should have a picture of that too, cause she just kind of had it, cause she looking like, okay, I'm about to go ahead, I'm about to get me some dick tonight. Ain't gonna be Andre, I'm gonna get me some dick. And then she looks just like, oh, fuck. Like, that was the look she had. And she's like, I need 2 drinks. I need 2 drinks. And, you know, she throws up, you know, because, you know, he's talking about how, you know, Stephen Hawkins, even though he has a rare form of, you know, the disease that, what that boy name is, Lucius has. And I forget what it is. Don't judge me. I think it's ALS. If that's what it is, it is. If not, whatever. Don't really care right now. But he pretty much says that, you know, he has a rare form of it, but he still has his mental function. He can still get an erection. Even somebody in the wheelchair can get an erection, and she throws up in her food. And they pretty much drive back. He tells her, hey, I got what I needed. And she like, I'm tired of being your whore. Can we stop this? And I'm looking like, oh, so now you tired. So when he try to pimp your ass out to an older motherfucking man, now you tired. Now you tired. Babe, get the fuck up out of here. So that's Vanilla Drop now. Now, I'd already talked about him seeing his family, minus him, in the studio singing. Now, he and Vernon meet up because they want to talk about, you know, him being the interim CEO, which means if something were to happen to Lucius, he would take over as the interim CEO, but he would easily be in line to be the CEO. So they hold a meeting. Vernon says yes. Cookie says yes. One other person in the meeting says yes. Everybody, not everybody, but everybody, to include Lucius, said no. Lucius like, nay. And Andre's kind of looking at him like, excuse me. He's like, he says something like, no. And walks out, hurts that boy feeling, baby. Baby. If this shit was motherfucking baseball, somebody should have slid to catch his motherfucking face, because that shit broke right there. Shit broke. Boy's in his feelings. In his motherfucking feelings. So I'm probably going to get to order this shit. Yeah, I think I got the order right. So at the white party, you know, of course he talks to Werner and shit. And it's one of those where he's like, what the fuck happened? He's like, apparently your father probably feels that we're conspiring. And Andre thought that he had already talked to him. He's like, no, I didn't. But I never thought that he would be against you. So they eventually talk about it in the office. And he pretty much like, I don't like y'all plotting behind my back. So this right here shows that Lucius is not fucking stupid. And he caught this shit from a mile away. But at the same exact time, even though he may not necessarily have a connection with Jamal the way that we would like him to, since he had to play the role of mother. And like I said, to all the ladies out there, men do have a connection with their children. A connection that is different from a woman. You know, a woman has a connection with her children that a man won't have. They both will have a relationship, but it's different. But he had his relationship is so good. Oh, he knew what his son was doing. Just never called his ass out on it. Why? Because shit, business still got to get done. Well, he gets confronted. He's just like, I don't trust you. That's why I said no. And, you know, hey, hate to say it, but, you know, he got a little bit racist saying, hey, when you brought that white girl home, that's when I knew I couldn't trust you. And, you know, Andre's like, you're mad at me because I don't have talent. But I got straight A's and I went and I made something of myself. He was like, all that you want is to be accepted. All that they, meaning the white people, all that they want is your money. They will never accept you. Like I said, this right here is no longer my family. All right, this is right. He pretty much said something along the lines of it being a travesty. And, you know, that was pretty much them. I want y'all to keep this part in mind when I talk about Jamal. So now we get to Cookie and Lucius. So, you know, after they got done fucking, you know, Cookie was just like, you need to dismiss the bitch if you want, you know, if you want Cookie's nookie. Now, if y'all recall, If y'all go back and watch the TV smoothie that I did last week, and that link is going to be somewhere in here. Actually, for those links, if you're watching this on your cell phone, the link will actually not pop up, but there will be a link down in the description if you're using your mobile device. For those of you who are watching on television, it's here. But any links that are up here will also be down in the description box. I just want to put that out there. But I said Lucy was trying to get cookies, get that nookie from Cookie. I said it, and she said it. I didn't even know I wish she said. I was like, oh, I said that shit last week. But I digress. And they in the studio, good chemistry and shit. Listening to the track and whatnot. He comes back in trying to get some more nookie. And they do it again. And of course, the shit gets brought up at the fucking party. But she pretty much finds out about the whole wedding thing, and that's when she crushes Boo Boo Kitty's dream, and pretty much tells Lucius a little bit later, ain't shit here. We ain't doing nothing. And now we get to the very end with Jamal and Ryan. So Ryan is pretty much again doing the whole video segment, work on the music and everything. Not necessarily work on the music, but doing the videography for the entire Legacy project. So he ends up shooting almost like a confessional with Jamal, and when it was done, he pretty much talks to him. Pretty much asked his ass out on date, to be completely honest. And Jamal's like, if my father finds out about, how you are, he'll fire you. He's like, well, as far as I'm concerned, your father can kiss my ass. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. All right. They have dinner and everything, and he pretty much tells us, like, look, dude, you just need to embrace you. You need to do you. You need to be you. Live your life for you. So with the song that they did, of course, you had Camilla telling Hakeem, you need to be last. And he even talked to Cookie. Cookie talks to Jamal. And Jamal is like, we said we weren't even going to fight. Better yet, I don't even want to be on the motherfucking song. Lucius talks to him and is like, look, do the song because you love music. This is why we were put here by God. For the love of music. So he starts performing the song. And for a minute, I didn't catch it. Because I'm just like, he was like, that make a man love a man. And they play that shit like 5 times. Make a man love a man. Make a man love a man. And you could see Lucius, because Lucius was jamming to the song like, yeah, this is my son. Yeah. Make a man love a man. Like, that was a look. Cookie like, Vernon like, Andre like, you even had fucking Hakeem. Hakeem just like, alright. So, Lucius feeling some kind of way, that shit all over the motherfucking blogs and whatnot. And when the last conversation that I had about Cookie telling Lucius he ain't gonna get none, she pretty much said, nothing has changed. The world knows, but nothing has changed. No one is treating your son differently. Your son is still your son. You are still you. But he pretty much telling her, I still don't like it. And yeah, that's pretty much all of what happened. I do apologize, you guys, that this one is a little bit longer than what I did last week. Because last week I pretty much hit on key points, but for this one, I kind of wanted to do it a little bit of justice. So this is somewhat of a recap. This is somewhat of a recap, but not how I do the other one. I'm like giving you boom, 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 boom. So that's it for this edition of TeaV Smoothie. As I say always, if you guys could please rate, comment, subscribe. We can always do some dialogue down below. I mean, if you guys see my other videos, when you guys comment, I get back to you guys as quickly as I can. I love the commentary, I really do. No matter how crazy it may be, I actually do love the dialogue. I do. Like I said, if you guys would like to ask me any questions or would like me to do a Ask Y'all Real, aka T Spilling segment, which I want to do eventually, you can email me at spillingallthetea@gmail.com. that link, well, the email just be down below in the comment, well, in the description box. I say comment box. You can also follow me on Twitter at TSpilling. That will also be in the description box below. And a real quick plugger. If you guys did not know, I did a collabo with my boys over at Vodka and Random Shit, and pretty much is where, hey, it's similar to what I'm doing here, except for the drinking starts way beforehand, and the shit that we talk about is random. So I'm in their third episode of Vodka and Random Shit. That link is down below for the third one. I'm also in their first episode for their new segment called Rant, and that one is also down below. And I will also have just a general link just to their page. You know, I would like for you guys to go there to support me, but even if not, please go there and support them. But what I will say is, it is very vulgar, risque. This is three dudes talking, and we drunk. So I know I can get a little bit crunk here, but when, like I said, when three different energies come together, you don't know what you're going to get. And when it's random and there's liquor involved, hey, it is what it is. But what I will say to you guys is, this is spilling all the tea. I will not abandon my brand. So, yes, I had tea. So that was vodka random shit, but I had tea in my cup. I can't do that to you guys. So as I always say, spill the tea so you guys can catch it. You know, again, bring your teacups, bring your mugs. You know, bring a cup, bring your wine glass, bring a pitcher. You know, bring an empty soda can, styrofoam cup, drip pan, because I'm going to spill the tea so you guys can catch it. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this off really quickly. And as I always say, I love you guys. Thank you so, so much for the support. And I will see you again next week for another edition of TeaV Smoothie. Again, stay tuned, because like I said, I will be doing Once Upon a Time. And I'm also looking into other shows to add to the TeaV Smoothie, because, again, these 3 shows that I'm doing right now are about to go off. If you have any shows that you would like for me to review, please put them down below, especially if they're about to start and they're a previous season, so I can catch up on them before I start. So, again, love you guys. I'll holler at y'all later.